Hello, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve, which is when I'm recording this, and Happy New Year's to you. The new year is coming up. When you see this, it'll be either Thursday night, New Year's Day, or the day after, the second day of the year. But as always, obligatory self promotion. What if I ruled the world? Poems by music, written by me, your boy, my one and only published work right now, because we're going to get into that. I talk about my goals for next year, which is what this video is about. I'm going to talk about my accomplishments and my goals for next year. I felt like my last video, I acted like we were never going to be at the computer, but my couch is kind of a mess. So, but the setup is just different. I know you can't see everything, but my computer is higher because I got it on the monitor and the keyboard for work. But the cord for this monitor that you cannot see actually connects to my Mac. So then I could project stuff over there. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it feels different. And then I have this cushion, which when I first set up the camera, you just saw this part of me. So I had to get the cushion out of here. But I need it because I work long hours when I'm at home. So anyway, enough of me blabbering about random stuff. Let's get into the video. So first, I'm going to talk about my accomplishments of 2025. And the first one, which I just talked about, was I got a new job. I was consistent. I kept researching companies. Um, I don't know if I networked a lot. I think I did do some career fairs like virtually. I tried to get out of Walmart, which is my former company, by June, but it ended up being I got to my new company in October 2025. I'm a little nervous about saying where I work just in case. You never know. Somebody you say something somebody don't like, it don't even have to be anything significant, and they calling your job up all the time. Although I will say it's really interesting. So I work like in a call center type kind of job. I work in insurance, but they don't have a line for like other insurance agents to get help. So then I kind of wonder if you're just calling to complain or like to like say you don't like someone, how would you even get to anyone that like it would matter to? Like even customers that are trying to get to you, um, sometimes they don't get to the right department, so you got to transfer them to the other department. So I do kind of wonder like how would you even complain about someone you don't even like? So hey, it feels like my job. Maybe that would be helpful. Like if somebody finds out where I work and they don't like me, it'll be too complicated to complain. So that'd be good. All right, and then my next goal was to save in a budget, which I did pretty well. I feel like I had a couple car stuffs. You know, my car's almost 20 years old. It's 2006, so she's getting up there. I'm going to talk about that, actually. That's going to be another goal again. I feel like saving and budgeting is going to be a goal every single year of my life. It's something you got to do. Unless you're a gazillionaire. Or what is Elon Musk now? A trillionaire? Which is crazy. Unless you really got it like that, you have to budget. So I got to keep on top of that. Yeah, and I was like consistent with my student loans. Was saving up, you know, what I need to save up. Um, I feel like I was very consistent with that. I was very consistent with my budgeting. This when did I do my new budget for my new job? Probably right when I got my first check. I did my budget. I think I've been doing my budget by myself. I haven't had my family help me. And I really feel like that has really helped me like be accountable to me to say, you know what, I'm taking charge of this and I'm doing it on my own. And there's so many ways, so many tools to help, and there's so many things that like you can get help from. And also, I don't really like being pocket watched, so that's another thing. But yeah, so I've been learning how to do that, and there's so many apps and videos and things to budget. And for me, I budget all the way down to zero. I budget the whole amount of the check I get. Some people budget differently, and then there's different ways that people budget. One of my friends, what she does is she takes everything out in cash, and she puts it like her spending in one section. She has like a little folding thing. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a folder where you get different pockets. So she puts the money in different pockets for this is for spending, this is for saving, this is for that. And then, she does, and then when the cash is gone, that's it for her. I feel like that's a really dedication. I feel like that's a really good method as well. Because, especially with cash, because you can see it with the card. You swipe, 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 and you tap, 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 and you're not looking at the bank account. It could be gone. So I feel like that's a good technique as well. My YouTube videos. So, the two goals that I think I accomplished under there was I did mess with CapCut more this year than I had before. Although I feel like I should do more with it. Um, and then I did work on time management. So I feel like it'll be a lot better because for my job, um, the schedule is 4 days on that are like 9.75 hours, basically 10 hours, and then 3 days off. So then it'll be easier to like break up like my time management. So like on a Wednesday, I'll try to make my appointments on Friday, and then I'm off on a Saturday. So then it'll be easy to like break up what I want to do for the next week. And then Saturday, I could film for the next week. That's what I've been doing actually, because I was working Monday through Friday, and then like Saturday I would record. So then that way, when I come home from work, I don't have to worry about recording. And also, I have a long commute, so that's kind of a thing too. So yeah, so those are two things I accomplished with my YouTube channel. And I also traveled more. I think I hit most of my travel goals. Um, I did save up for everything on the trip, the full amount, including shopping. Um, which I do need to work on more. I feel like things are more expensive than I think they are, and I really gotta save up the guap. I gotta save up more than I think I should save up. That's my takeaway from that as well. Even though I did save up before trips. So I went to two new places. That was one of my goals. I went to Durham, North Carolina to visit my friend who lives down there with her husband. And I went to a new country, the Bahamas. I went on a cruise with my family, and I've never been to the Bahamas. So that's two new places. That was two goals I hit right there. I guess I kind of visited a favorite place or a place I've been to before because I've been to Florida before. I don't know if it counts if you're visiting your family, but I had a good time. It was for Christmas, something I never did before. So I should check that off as well. Oh, and I went on my first cruise this year. Went on a Carnival cruise to the Bahamas. It was like 3 or 4 days, and it was fun. I didn't get seasick, so that was great. I was a little worried about that because I've been on a boat, but it was kind of like not really a cruise. It was more like it was a boat you could sleep on and stuff, but it didn't have like cruise stuff on it. And I was like a teenager when I went. But it was when I was going from Greece to Italy, and we took like I don't know what it would be called, like it's just a passenger regular boat that has no like fun stuff on it. Basically, it's just like a bus or like a train with beds. It's just on the ocean. So yeah, but it didn't have anything fun or anything exciting to do on there. So there's that. And then my other goal, I think I hit, and then this one I really hit all the goals, my reading goals. So I actually have started listening to the books I uh, loan out on Libby. So, and then with my commute, it's really good because I have an hour commute to and fro. So it's really good to listen to audiobooks. Um, and right now I'm actually listening to two. I have never listened to Pride and Prejudice or read it. My teacher didn't like the book, so we never read it. And I kind of can see why we never read the book because I'm kind of like this is a little boring. But I'm trying to like I really want to see how it ends though. Like I want to see if it really gets exciting. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna stick it out. I got 7 more hours. And then I started the Hunger Games today, so it's been really interesting so far. Um, so yeah, I'm Hunger Games. I'm only in like maybe like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I think it's less than an hour. I don't think I'm that far yet because I just like got it from the library today. But yeah, so I've really been, actually using Libby. Reread a book I love. I actually read two books I loved, actually. The Skin I'm In, by, oh my gosh, Sharon. Oh my gosh. Let's see if my internet works, cause, oh, you know what? My reading log is right here, so I can tell you the name. Sharon G. Flake. There we go. And I actually read the second book in that series, and I need to start reading the third because I actually want to review all of them together. So stay tuned for that. And then I listened to the audiobook of Carmilla. I love that book so much. I thought the audiobook would be like super. I kind of wanted to just see how it sounded, like how they did the voices and stuff, and it was alright. You know, I like the book. I have read the physical book. I have the physical book, so I mean, I don't know. The voices weren't that exciting to me, so I don't think it was worth it unless there's another recording that's like more exciting. But the one I listened to wasn't that exciting. But yeah, so that was two books that I've read that I love that I reread. At least one books read at least one series of books, which was supposed to be The Skin I'm In, but I ended up listening to the audiobooks of Fried Green Tomatoes, which I feel like the book title was actually longer than that, but I forgot what it is. And then they have a second book called The Wonder Boy of Whistle Stop. So I did that. That's my one series that I've read this year. And then I had to read at least one nonfiction book. I feel like I've read a lot of nonfiction books, but this was the first one I read, and it was called A Perfect Fit: How Lena Lane Bryant Changed the Shape of Fashion. So it's talking about the founder of Lane Bryant, the plus size women's store. And it was a children's book, so it was cool. It had like nice pictures. Actually, I didn't listen to it. I read it on Libby, but it was like a book, like an ebook. So that was cool. I read a new genre that I never read before. A graphic novel called Molgoth by Kate Leth. I feel like I'm not saying her name right. But that was the first graphic novel I can really remember reading. I've definitely read comic books before, but trying to. In Hunger Games, I never read a dystopian novel, so that'll be something new I've read already. So I'm already starting early on my next year goals. Oh, and I've read at least one book a month. Poetry month, of course, I read, like, sometimes I review poetry books, so I read more that month. And then, with me driving a lot, listen to a lot of audiobooks, so that I got that goal down. And then I got through almost half of my actual books. So before I had 100 books, I got two for Christmas. Because I watched this video about book overconsumption, so I felt like I should do my part and actually read the books I have before trying to get new ones. So I read 30 of them, and then I literally got that goal like right after Christmas because I brought two books with me on the trip to Florida. I finished them both. They're both poetry books, so it wasn't like too long. But yeah, I finished them, so that was good. But this year, since I have 102 books, oh, I'll get into it when I get to my new goals. So then I have a new number that I'm trying to get to. And then I have one that says learn something new, my last accomplishment. So I learned about insurance for my job. At first, I told my friends, like, I didn't really do that goal, but then my friend pointed out, you learned about insurance and you got your insurance license. And I did. I got my auto insurance license. Um, Part of me kind of wants to like branch out and get other licenses, but honestly, it was a little stressful. It really was because they only give you two times that my company would pay for it. And then if you don't get it the second time, that's it. You're done. Like, so I did a lot of studying, a lot of like, even with my commute coming home, looking at my notes over that we went over that day to make sure I got it. And, doing the practice test, doing flashcards, doing all these things. It was a lot. So, yes, I did learn one thing new. And that was something that also, with my job, helped me keep my job. So, there's that. All right. So, now let's get into the goals of this year. I guess next year. Well, when you see it, it'll be next year already. But my goals for 2026. So since I have the job now, I want to keep up with the requirements of my job. I want to keep up and strive to go above the requirements, but not stress myself out too much. not be like, making myself sick, worrying and doing all this stuff, just doing the best I can and improving and learning. That's what I really want to do. Um, and then once I get to a certain point, looking to move up or move around, um, look, they do cover you going back to school. So I will look into that because I already got the student loan debt. I don't need no more, but it would be nice if they would pay for me to go back if it would help my job. Yeah. Um, and network. More networking. Oh, you know what? There was actually a networking event for my job. I forgot to sign up. I just thought about that because so on the thing it asks your job like what level you are, and I didn't know. So I was gonna ask my manager and I forgot. So gotta keep that in mind for next year if they have another event. So yeah. Um, and then number two is gonna be the same thing every single year: saving, budgeting. Staying on top of my student loan, like I just said, because you're not about to come take my check. Okay, I'm gonna pay it. That's the bottom line. Uh, Sticking to my budget and adjusting when I need to. Oh, big one, saving up for a car because, like I said, my car is she's 20 years old, so gonna save up for that. Gonna research cars. Oh, Costco also has cars apparently, and they're the same as the sticker price that they say. So there's no extra stuff. So I'm gonna definitely look into that. I love Costco. They have so much. It's like Amazon. They have so much. Be prepared when I go to concerts. Oh, be prepared when I want to go to concerts and other fun stuff. Uh, oh, and then after I get my car, save up for an apartment. Research that as well. So yeah, trying to move up trying to move around in the car and move up to my own house. That's a house right there. Not a house, but like apartment. So I'll make a rectangle. You know what I mean. And then number three is writing. I really want to be on top of it. I started working on my fiction project like I talked about in my short video, but I haven't even started writing any of the chapters yet. But there's some things I want to do before I start writing the chapters, but I need to do it. So I need to push myself. Okay, I talked about writing on my fiction project. Okay, I outline my story and then write it one chapter at a time. And then I did want to share a poetry or a short story twice a month at least on social media and YouTube. Haven't done that. Uh oh, I read this book or listened to this audiobook called All the Bright Things, and she had a zine in there. The character, what was her name? I already forgot her name. Violet. She had a zine, and I thought that was cool. So I want to look up zine writing and other types of writing. So I thought that would be cool. So I switched it up a little bit. Really submit my work to different publications because that would be good experience and potential extra money and exposure. Research, freelance, creative and professional writing jobs, possible side hustle to file full time with experience. Looking to submitting to companies for fiction, novel, or self publishing options for more control over the distribution and marketing, and look into TikTok Shop. Because right now I'm self published through Amazon, but I would like to like maybe partner with someone so that I can have like books at my disposal to send out. Because right now you just have to order from the Amazon link. But I know that there are writers, I see them all the time on TikTok that have their books in front of them. I mean, I have my book, as you can see, but I don't have like books um, where I could just ship them off myself, you know, and like I could market more. But yeah, so I gotta look into that. Number four, which I feel like is gonna be every year as well, exercise and health. You gotta stay healthy. Just start. I did ask for a walking pad. It's like a treadmill without the arms. Basically, that's it. So if I have that, I gotta definitely use it. Um, oh, I said use it frequently. Yes, because it's cold out. Try different classes if it's in my budget. Slash, I can't get another free month of Class Pass. If you don't know what Class Pass is, it's basically like a a subscription thing where you can go to different classes. Um, you can go to Zumba, you can go to Jazzercise. I don't know if you can go to Zumba, but I know I went to Jazzercise one time. You can go to different classes and you just pay whatever the subscription is, but I never paid. I just did the free trial. But it's been a while. It's been like a few years since I've done it because I do remember doing Jazzercise, but I don't remember doing like really anything else. So that will be something I could take advantage of. Since it's free for a month, I can get that for a month. Be consistent here too. I'm going to try to work out 4 to 5 times a week. We might start off with the 3 days that I'm off. Yeah. And then one day I do go in like a little later, like 10. Sundays I go in at 10:30, so I could get up a little early, do a little something, take a shower, be ready for work from home. So I really got to commit myself to that. No numerical goal. Just get started and stay focused. Take my meds. Gotta take my medicines. Keep up to date and stocked up. I have since I switched jobs. I actually was on top of like keeping myself stocked up, so that was good. Uh, be consistent with overall health, dental health, mental health, all that. And since I'm diabetic, keep my A1C down and take the meds for that as well. So there's that. So we're halfway through the list. So number 5 is here, YouTube videos. Um, look into improvements and social media boosting strategies. Try new things, explore new niches, new trends. Try something different. Really look into editing apps. I have explored more with CapCut, but I think I could explore more. Still work on my time management skills now that my schedule's changed. I gotta figure out like maybe I have a filming day, maybe I'll have a how do I want to work around my schedule to like film and before I want to upload. Excuse me. Work on longer form content, more in depth videos, and focus on making writing more the forefront. And then reading, always going to be a goal. So now I want to uh, reread 2 books I love. So I got to do that. Read at least 2 series of books. So that's going to be on there. So now I'm upping everything I did before. Read at least 2 nonfiction. Uh, and read at least 2 books of a new genre that I never read before, like fantasy or science fiction. Read at least 4 books a month. So I'm really upping it. Read 2 of my own books a month as well, so I can be on top of that. Um, and get through at least half of my books. So now it will be 51 out of 102. So then I would have to read 21 more of my own books this year because I read some of the books I had already read, so I got up to number 30. So yeah, that's what I really want to focus on for my reading. Um, yeah, and since I've like listened to audiobooks so much, I feel like I also need to make sure I'm reading my own physical books as well and keeping up with that. So I've combined some of my goals and added some new stuff to it. So number 7 I've had before. It's go to more local events and make more friends, especially Black ones. Join social groups and actually go to the events. Look up writing groups that connect with people. Be open, especially in DC. Don't be afraid to go alone. Writing events, which I kind of already said that. Social events and themed events, fairs, farmers markets, museums, etc. So I just want to go out more, meet more people, do more things. I had restaurants on here, but me and my friends, me and 2 of my besties, we're always going to new restaurants, so that's covered. So that etc's in there. Number 8 is volunteer. So that's a new one. I don't feel like I volunteer as much as I want to. I want to give back more. I want to volunteer more and give back to my community, especially organizations that help with Black and Brown people specifically. So I really want to do that. Look into events for kids, reading to them at the library, things like that. Helping women's shelters, helping teens. I would really like to give more back to my community. Number 9, as always, learn something new. I feel like that's always going to be there probably. New recipe, sewing or crochet craft of some kind, something like that. video game, HTML, etc., hobbies, possible side hustles. Um, oh, so learn something new is with something. I also have something new with the learn something new, and that is support black owned businesses more. So my mom was talking about it today. She found an alternative for our um, what is that? Washing our dish soap. She found a black owned brand, and I was like really inspired by that. So I added that today to learn something new and look support more black owned companies. Look up black owned companies, black owned businesses for everyday things like cleaning supplies, clothes, etc. Support my people more because I feel like that's a great thing. Like you just start small and you start replacing, the things that you normally get, but with black owned companies. So that's what I really want to do as well. And then number 10, I put it on the bottom because since I'm trying to save for a car, save for an apartment, it might not be happening. But I put travel more, of course. Save up the full amount for everything on the trip, including shopping. Go to a new place, visit my favorite place or place where you've been before. Go on a solo trip. I do want to try like a train trip to start. Look up unique travel experiences, which I already put train, Disney and cruises. So that's at the bottom because I don't think, with me, between me saving for those two things, those are big things: car, apartment, moving. You gotta pay for movers and boxes. And I feel like a Dr. Seuss, Bingles and Bangles. And I just watched The Grinch over Christmas, so now that's stuck in my head. Now that I'm thinking about all these words I'm saying. So yeah, so I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself. I would like to, but I also have to like stay focused on the two big things that I'm trying to save up for. So yeah, those are my goals for 2026. What are your top 10 goals for 2026? Let me know in the comments. Whatever you think, if you have a New Year's resolution, whatever you call it, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you all next year and next week. Well, when you see this, it might be next year, and it might be next year already. So, yeah, see you all next week.